they're talking about is the dynasty over, trust me, when you lose 3 in a row, people don't show that everything changes.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun, man. Because I know the Cowboys are doing this. Is exactly, it'll be all over it.
True.
So let's not let that
Titletown over there.
Titletown. He got to put that tag on it. Titletown has gone down. We got to tag that thing with it. Always
for sure.
I just want to know what's so funny. Everybody's laughing at me. What's so funny is that Mike's not that funny. Like everybody's just laughing at everything he says. He's not really that funny.
He's a guest.
It's kind of fun.
Right.
It's kind of fun.
That is good. That's good.
It's like, whoa.
To It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Underdog is dropping awesome promos all week long, so make sure y'all check the app to see what's next. If you're new, use code ITISWHATITIS when you sign up, play $5, and they'll drop $50 in bonus funds your way. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your host Cam. Mace will be here soon, and today we have our analyst Michael Irvin live in studio.
Mike is in the studio? Yo, listen, man, I'm hyped to see my big brother Mike in the studio. I don't think Mike would have showed up if Russell Wilson would have finished the job. Because listen, we already see Mace's conveniently running late. Mike came in here high stepping.
Right.
Like they did something crazy. Like they were supposed to go to the limit with the Giants. But being that he's here, I'm just happy you look good. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate that, man. And I've been looking forward to coming to hang out with you guys right here in the studio, man.
Thank you, man.
And everything. And man, wow though, what a fight last night, huh?
Yes.
What a time, man.
Yes.
So yeah, just thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Nah, come on.
And let me say this too. You ain't lying. Boy, I was sweating like a motherfucker. I said, these jokers better not lose when I'm over here. I got to walk in that studio. Oh, them jokers ain't going to let up off this player. Listen, you ain't never lied. I thought about that.
Listen, think about this, right? And I know we're going to get into it, right? We lose our quarterback, the Bengals, because I'm a Bengal fan. We lose our quarterback. And we end up with Brown and winning this game. And I'm saying to myself, cool. Pittsburgh lost. Chiefs lost.
Right. You
the only one in the state. You the only one to say. Because I was about to come here and start doing the gritty on y'all when I got here. I was about to get the gritty on all 3 of y'all. But Mike ended up pulling it off. Stat, I see this, conveniently the Steelers aren't up here today. I see that's not up on our topics, but we'll find time for it if need be. A matter of fact, they are on here.
They are. I have to. Just a little lower. If we don't get to it today, there's always another day. But of course, Mike, glad to have you here in studio. We will get to that game, but we got to start with the fight, y'all. So Terrence Crawford beat Canelo to become the first male fighter to win an undisputed title in 3 weight classes in the 4-belt era. Mike, what did you think of the match? Were you there? What were your thoughts?
I was absolutely right there. Partook in all the pre-game festivities, and Netflix did such a fabulous job. I mean, really, coming into sports and what they're doing now since they've gotten into sports. My guy over there, Brandon Riggs and Gabe, those guys are really doing a great job. But it was epic to be in there last night. It was epic. Everybody was in there. It was, and you could feel it. When they started the fight, and those guys were walking out, I promise you, I had cheer bumps all on my arms. Now, and I'm sitting there watching the fight. We're right in the front. I'm with Charlie Sheen. I got Jeremy Renner and Dave Spade, right? And we looking around, and people, I took a pic and we posted it, and they were killing us in the comments, about what a group,
Yeah.
what a lineup,
Quote, line up, in quotations.
Hey, they were killing us in the car. But man, and even being around those dudes, because y'all say what you want, man. Sheen, I always saw as an OJ, well, a real one, the real one. Yeah, he could have been one of us. That's what I said.
You get a few of those.
He could be one of us.
Right.
So sitting there with them and watching a fight like that, and we would commentate to each other. Man, that was great, man. That was real great. It really was. And then I didn't know, if they felt what I felt. So then I waited. I went to the after party, and that's when Jeremy Renner came up to me and said, man, did you feel that? I said, yeah, you feel. I said, oh, okay, it's okay to talk about it then.
Right.
So yeah, it was epic, man. I was happy.
Okay to talk about what?
What? The man thing. That I did feel. I didn't want, because I'm the only football player.
Right.
And these are all massive actors, so.
Right.
Maybe they were doing the acting thing, but no, I it was a locker room thing for me.
Right.
But they came back and told me, that was locker room.
Right.
Like we should do it again, and
right.
So I hope we get a rematch out of this thing with Netflix.
Yeah,
do that
man.
again. But it was great. It was great. It was great for Crawford. Now let me say this right, Let me tell you why it's a Bud. All the champions that we know, we love, and that is epic, and has earned what Bud has earned. They get a higher loft. Mike Tyson is something different. Sugar Ray Leonard is something different. But Crawford threw his name up here.
Right.
Threw his name up here with all of those guys. Now, that's his name. Now, his game. Mike Tyson gets up there because he's a vicious, I'm going to rip your head off.
Yeah.
And everything, Sugar Ray is sweet. But Bud is just a great dude, man. He gets up there and thank God and everything, and a good dude. So I hope he gets the credit he deserves when he doesn't have that kind of a game.
Right.
I mean, off the field, or out the ring.
Right.
Because he has that kind of game in the ring. He's a bad man.
Right. Bud kicked ass. Bud kicked ass from beginning. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit pissed off at the judges, two of the judges' scorecards having them 115, 113, because that means you only had Bud winning by 2 rounds. And to me, it was a. I'm not going to say he shut Canelo out. I'll give Canelo 3-4 rounds, but it shouldn't have been more than an 8-4 judges scorecard. And that's why I'm happy, because a lot of people are saying he have to knock him out because he can't win by decision because they're going to cheat and give it to him. But he beat him so convincingly that they wasn't able to do that. That's first and foremost. That's what I will say. So congratulations to Bud. I was coming back from San Diego. I'm pissed off. Mike has hit me like, yo, where you at? I'm stuck on I-5. I seen half the phone. I have to fight on my phone. The other half in my house. They want to see gruesome fight. The casual boxing fan didn't understand the technical beauty of what happened last night from Terrence Crawford. They be like, yo, what happened this, that, and the third? You got to realize what you said. Bud doesn't care about having a personality out the camera. He doesn't care about being in New York. He doesn't care about being in Los Angeles. He cares about Omaha, Nebraska, and he's a fighter. One person that happened to, and I related to, but it kind of reversed for Marshawn Lynch, to where he became a personality for not wanting to be a personality. I'm only here so I don't get fined. Right. And that became a larger-than-life personality. But Bud is like, listen, I'm here to be a fighter. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. And he gave a beautiful boxing exhibition last night. Moving up 3 weight classes. A lot of people say 2. He only had 1 fight at 154. He's fighting 147 for years before that. So I'm saying he moved up 3 weight classes and put on a beautiful fight. Even when he wanted to get in a phone booth with Canelo, he'll get in there 20, 30 seconds and get out. Take 2, 3 rounds off box, get in there 20, 30 seconds and out. And last round, they gave a little bit of more, what the people wanted. But if you ask me, and I seen him talking, and I have no proof of this, but I seen him talking. He talked to Floyd Mayweather. Anybody who talks to Floyd Mayweather ends up winning the fight. I don't think it's more brilliant boxing mind in boxing ever than Floyd Mayweather. I'm not just talking about in the ring. I'm talking about things leading up to the fight.
All the way around.
All the way around.
His whole business of boxing.
Floyd will never say this, and I can't say he's right or wrong. He's the one who said, yo, Ryan, come in 3 pounds overweight. Against that nigga Devin Haney, nigga. Come in 3 pounds overweight. Yo, Tank, when you fight Ryan, put the rehydration clause in there. He can't gain weight next day. Make sure he stays at the 140 mark, so therefore he can't come in weighing 165. His boxing IQ outside of the ring leading up to fight is just tremendous. I speak to Floyd from time to time. He say, Cam, man, listen, man, everybody want to take my way now. When I was telling niggas to go, I forget the phrase, but the Olympic style drug testing, nobody wanted to do it, but Floyd was real adamant. They do it now, but even the Pacquiao fight, that fight took so long because Pacquiao didn't want to take the Olympic style drug testing. And Floyd was like, if you're not cheating, why don't you want to take the Olympic-style drug test? They do it now, but I just think that his IQ is bigger than anybody in boxing. And to have Terrence Crawford, to have that friend before this fight, when the only person who made Canelo look this bad from a boxing exhibition is Floyd Mayweather, even though Canelo was younger. But to me, he made Canelo look stupid. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather. If you go back and watch that Floyd fight, it wasn't even close. It was a shutout. And the reason why the people say that Terrence Crawford had to win that by knockout, even though he didn't, is that one judge, when Canelo fought Floyd, had Canelo winning the fight, which was just fucking ridiculous. Right. The boy whipped the man from 1 to 12. You want to give him 2-3 rounds, fine. But for him that you have Canelo winning that fight, absolutely ridiculous. But shout out to Bud Crawford. Congratulations. Very big class act on Canelo's part and Terrence Crawford part after the fight, being there was so much turbulence leading up to the fight. Look who showed up.
Mace
Mace in the building.
Been a rough morning, man. Been a rough morning, man. Mike, it's been a rough morning.
Come on, don't worry, it's gonna be okay.
Hey, my God.
We gonna get through this today,
Mace, glad to have you here. We're gonna get into that game too. So literally nobody is off the hook.
Y'all was just talking about the GOAT.
Terrence Crawford.
I had to chime in. I had to stay outside, really. I knew Cam was going to talk about this, but Terrence Crawford is the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
He's the new GOAT. I'm going with new hotness. New hotness. LeBron, they do it with LeBron, so.
The GOAT of everything, every ever?
Yeah, he's the GOAT of every era. I'm going viral.
I'm
trolling.
and one thing I want to say that I think we have to give Mayweather credit too. That I think is his biggest.
Wait. He's not the GOAT?
No. You're right. No. What he did, that's what I was talking about earlier. What he just did was put himself in that up there with how we see the Alis and the Mike Tysons. But he was talking about the brilliance of Mayweather. And I think the most brilliant thing Mayweather did was flip that script, baby. Like, Don King used to come in and promote the fights and gave Mike Tyson, we want $5 million. You want $5 million fight. That's what they got to fight, like for the Rumble in Jungle in Africa and all of that, $5 million. While Don walked off with 100 to 200 million. Mm-hmm. Floyd came in and said, holy doly. No mole of that going on over here. He said, I'm going to hire the producer, and I'm walking away with all of that money. Right. So Floyd, because I work with him. Mm-hmm. I work with Showtime and Paramount. The dude would tell me, we great friends, best of friends. I was with him last night, as a matter of fact. He said, Michael, I got to get Floyd these checks. I got $250-$60 million checks over here I got to give to Floyd. You know what I mean? From those fights that they were having. Right. And Floyd pays the producer. That's why I'm talking, that's the brilliance. Right. That was the most brilliant thing of all things. And now you get fighters trying that, but you got to build your brand like he built his brand. So, yeah, I want to just give him that credit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna add my 2 cents real
Yeah,
quick
go
before
ahead.
I ask a couple more questions about the fight. First of all, that was my first fight experience, which was a dope experience. I
Was
just
your
feel
first?
Yes, I feel super blessed because I'm like, for my first fight, that
that's
was great.
right,
So
right.
again, also shout out to Cam for him saying feet on the wood or it ain't good because
Right.
Netflix did hook me up. Got to go in the Winfield Club. I saw Mike there. I'd never been there before. It was everybody
See?
there. They giving
You
us
were hanging with
tomahawk
the
steak.
stars.
Good.
I know y'all are talking technical, but I gotta talk about the experience real quick.
Yeah, it
I had
was, it
chicken
was.
tenders and caviar, right?
Ooh.
They're giving us tomahawk steak. We have a sweet section watching the fight. Then I can go closer on the floor to watch the fight. That was crazy.
That was
so
great.
it was super fire.
They're doing a great
everybody
job.
there.
Netflix,
Yeah.
you right. You give them some
Yes,
fire
shout
on
out
that.
Netflix. And the energy
They're
was
doing it.
literally insane. It was crazy. It was a lot of people, of course. So it was really dope to see.
You're getting better over the years, man. I taught you well, man. I taught you well.
Standard.
That's
You can't go
exactly
any
the
other way.
standard.
You can't go any other way.
Exactly. You can't go backwards now.
You cannot. Okay.
Wait. All this is great. Is Terrence Crawford not the GOAT?
He is.
He is the
He
GOAT.
is.
Yeah.
He is.
All right.
And
I'm
he
just
made
making
that
sure.
statement last night. And that's what we were talking about, Mace. You made this. He made the statement in the ring. And because, think about this. I was with Evander Holyfield last night, and they're doing, a documentary on him. And Evander was a bad man, a bad man. And he's a quiet champion, good champion. God bless you when he gets up there. And Terrence Crawford is that same champion. God bless you. Thank you for the fight and everything. And I just think, when Mike Tyson want to rip your head off and everything, well, that's easy to promote that.
Yeah.
They all want to say, whoa, that's a black man. I'll rip your head off. He's a crazy man. You want to promote that. But that good, quiet Christian brother is not the thing they promote.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not the thing that goes big. So even in a rematch, which the champ should be able to make the call because he's the champ, he makes the call on the belt, but not the call on the crowd because Canelo has the crowd. Last night, we watched that game in Mexico City.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I know, I totally understand.
And I love my people. And I've said that a million times that I love my Mexican people because they're big Cowboy fans. So, but they were in there last night. So you got to consider the belt in the crowd.
Right.
And a rematch. Yeah, I would love to see a rematch. And Crawford says we flipped the script because Canelo made 150 and Crawford made 50. I don't think they'll flip the script and give Crawford 150 and Canelo 50, but we can 125 this thing a piece, you know what I'm saying? And on that next fight. And I hope they make that
Well,
fight.
the thing about it is, it's funny that you brought that up, Mike, is because Tarver said that, I watched Antonio Tarver, and he was saying that, that Crawford, he just won, he's the money man. No. And Crawford,
The crowd.
like Mike says, arguably could be the GOAT. Because you think about this, he's a 3-time undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions. You got people who's champion in 4, 5, 6 weight divisions, but not undisputed. He's the first one in any undisputed in 3 different weight classes. But if anybody should know better, is Antonio Tarver. Because you knocked Roy Jones out. And you didn't become the money man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not comparing those two, but people just like who you like. When you talk about Floyd Mayweather realized after he beat Oscar De La Hoya that you got to think about his last fights till he retired. All people who's not from this country, all people who's going to get the pay-per-view numbers from other countries, whether it's Ricky Hatton. God bless the day. Ricky Hatton just passed away. I don't know. They didn't say what happened, but R.P. Ricky Hatton. Even when he fought the MMA nigga, the UFC nigga, still UFC.
Conor
Conor McGregor. Exactly. Every fight he did after De La Hoya, he said, I'm going to make sure it's somebody who
in
get
another country.
from another country.
So you pull in that
So he
country.
pulling the money from the other
Right,
countries.
right.
And then he said, I don't need to brawl with you as long as I win. Because Floyd will tell you, it's more people to pay to see him lose. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how you pay for it, as long as you pay for it. So I give him credit that. And then he also marketed himself well. All them 24/7s the niggas used to do when it be All Access 24/7, Floyd will show you, it'd be an hour show. Floyd will show him boxing. for 7-8 minutes of the show. The rest, I'm going to buy a Ferrari today. The rest, I'm going to buy a watch today. He sold a lifestyle.
Right.
And that's what made niggas want to be.
Counting $1 million.
Yeah, counting $1 million
right, all of that.
in the house, the sneaker collection, so on and so forth.
Right.
And to me, Bud don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm going to be Omaha. I'm going to be the person I am. And as long as if you making 50 and you going home to your family and you from the place where you started from, I can't count niggas' money. I'm pretty sure 50's a lot in Omaha. 50's a lot anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he'd be the money man because he don't care about promoting like that. But I definitely think he could get a bigger check if it's a rematch.
Yeah. Okay, so post-fight, Canelo had a quote where he said, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd." So just after hearing him say that, what is your thoughts on the comparisons and him even saying that after the fight?
Yeah, well, that was interesting because I was messing with Mace earlier because, Bud said he had been hit harder even by someone else besides Canelo. And then Canelo, and I said, man, I guess they're just throwing barbs at each other. But that would be, man, because I can't doubt that Bud will fight anybody or beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even the Floyds, what he's done right now. I gotta say, I can't go up against that, and you can't doubt that Floyd could beat anybody. It's just what that is. And that would be, that'd be a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Hey, Mace.
Oh, man.
And you can do those things now because it's like you say, it's about attention now.
Yeah.
Who cares even so about what nobody cares. We can put this together and both of them can make $200-300 million.
Y'all saying y'all would want to see Floyd fight?
I'm just saying if just.
I was about to say. Right now that would be a horrible fight, but back in the day that would be I wouldn't go against Floyd against anybody. It's just the feat that he's reached on this one run is insurmountable. Just like Killa was talking about, when you have somebody that is undisputed in 3 weight classes, that's not easy to do. It hasn't been easy for people to do in one field. You think about all of the great fighters that look like they're dominant where they are, and they still are not undisputed. You look at Gervonta. You look at what Floyd did. He was never undisputed, and he totally dominated that particular weight class, and he went up a few weight class. But you got to remember, Bud started at 130. To make it all the way to 168 and be the champ is even further than Pacquiao went. And Pacquiao started out almost that light. And you saw how much praise we have for Pacquiao.
But Pacquiao brought their crowd too down.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao another one, boy. They're gonna line him up, boy, with Pacquiao with it when he's fighting.
Yeah. So I'm going on a record. Bud is the GOAT out of all the fighters.
Yeah.
Okay, Cam.
I don't go against Floyd. Yeah, nobody better than Floyd for me. Bud could be pretty close, but for me, it's nobody better than Floyd Mayweather. Just my personal opinion. And I know Bud's argument is that every time they say he don't fight somebody, he beat the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fight. He told Canelo that shit. Because Canelo was like, who'd you fight? He's like, nigga, I'm going to start my more hole on you next. Since I ain't fight nobody, you the person that I prove since I haven't fought nobody, you'll be the name. And even Errol Spence. Shit he did Errol Spence, and no disrespect, I haven't seen Errol since. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? So
that hurt me.
But for me, it's just about, like I said, and I know this is not Bud's fault. For me, Bud is in an era where the names aren't as popular that he beat. If that ain't his fault, that's when his birth certificate is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, even like Roy Jones, you'll sit there and I talk about Roy Jones the best, some people, or at least he was pound for pound the best at the time. But the question is, who did Roy fight? James Toney, and when they were young, he fought Bernard Hopkins when Bernard Hopkins was young, and not when they was prize fighters. But I'm asking y'all, because y'all both knew boxing, who's a notable name that Roy Jones fought?
Yep, and I know what you're saying, and you're right. You're right. If you're
All
in
I'm
an era,
asking Mike is
right,
the name.
you're in an era
So you
when
know
we do
a
the
name,
names.
Mike.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because there's nothing to pop off. There's nothing to pop. So there was no great fighters that we measured him against that he beat in his era.
Right.
You're right. So Sugar Ray beat Thomas Hearn.
Right.
And it beat
Marvin
Hearn
Hagler.
and Marvin
Yeah.
Hagler.
Right. Exactly.
And we saw those fights.
Right.
So we were able to say, and then Roberto Duran quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? We
Right.
saw those fights. That's
Right.
what made, and that's why Bud beating Canelo, that starts lifting him up because we got those names out there. So yeah. You're right. I'm still trying to think on who would beat.
Yeah,
I'm
because
still thinking
you
on
sit
that
there and
one.
look. I'm just looking at a couple when Floyd, and this one he's 38 and 0. You got Oscar De La Hoya, you got Ricky Hayes, got Juan Marquez, who called him out. Shane Mosley.
Oh, Marquez was a bad boy now.
Yeah, but Marquez, Floyd retired. Marquez stuck going around saying, I won't fight Floyd. Floyd can't retire him and beat the shit out of him. Miguel Cotto, Canelo Alvarez, Madonna, like Pacquiao.
Zab Judah.
These are the names that when nigga, and I'm not, like I said, it ain't Terrence Crawford's fault. But when you actually looking at resume, you be like, who'd you fight? Nigga, who did not fight? That's a question you ask for Floyd. So I'm not mad at anybody who has Terrence Crawford as the GOAT, bro. I'm not mad at it. Just for me, I actually seen it. Even Terrence Crawford, like I said, that's his biggest gripe. That people are saying, who did I fight? Who did I fight? It ain't your fault the niggas was trash during your run. And not saying you didn't fight good fighters, but last night you solidified your name, at least to be in the conversation for Cameron on the Mount Rushmore. It's about who you want to put up there. But for me, I don't go against Floyd. He goes 50-0. Didn't duck nobody. Not only that, if you really want to look at it, you can look at Mayweather as like a Steph Curry. When you say change the game, niggas wasn't trying to get all this money. You know, all these fighters don't fight each other no more. All the good fighters that's good, they don't fight each other because they don't want to lose, because Floyd ain't lose. They don't want no O on their record. Once you get an O on your record, you can't do what Floyd did. They want to make the money Floyd made. You just said this niggas still waiting to cut Floyd $150 million checks from old pay-per-views probably, and they want the money that Floyd got. To me, he's a trendsetter for the era that's here now, and I'm not even necessarily saying that's a good thing. He kind of fucked it up because niggas want his money, want his lifestyle. Now we're not seeing the fights to get niggas to that.
But that's why you got to give Netflix some love, because they'll bring they want epic events.
Right.
Think about this, and I was talking about it with them last night. They started out by giving you what you want when you want it, right? Me growing up, I wanted to watch Jefferson. 9 o'clock Wednesday, boy, be your butt right here. I sat my butt right there at 9 o'clock. Netflix comes in and say, you can stream this thing when you want to. You ain't got to be there at 9 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So now they get back into the TV business in order to now make you come up and show up at a certain time. Like they said, that event has to be epic. That's why we get a Canelo.
Yeah, but
in a Bud fight, and that's the part of it now that comes in, because like the Logan Paul, some of these guys can get that money because their attention is epic. You know, it's not just about you winning and being on the O side. You can get that kind of attention and make that kind of money.
Right.
Okay, well, congratulations again to Terrence Crawford. We're going to go to break. When we return, we got a whole lot of football to get into, so don't go.
Man, we got to talk them Chiefs. I got to talk them Chiefs, boy. Hey. Talking about somebody getting knocked out. Okay.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Picks of the day. Today, the Chargers will play the Raiders. Underdog has Justin Herbert at 1.5 passing touchdowns. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
I'm going higher.
Cam?
Yeah, niggas try to bring up Justin Herbert last week. Niggas act like I said F they moms. Yo, Justin Herbert, you bugging, kid. So that kid is good when he's healthy, man. I'm going higher, man.
Okay, Lad McConkey's at 72.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
I'm going to go lower.
Okay, Mason.
Yeah, lower.
Okay, and Ashton Genty is at half a rushing and receiving yard. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
It's one of those things. When Underdog does this, they know something. So I'm gonna go higher.
Okay, Cam.
What is it?
Ashton Genty's at half a rushing and
A
receiving.
half a yard. That's crazy.
He looked good last week. Go higher.
Okay, make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. It's time to talk about the Chiefs. They're 0-2 for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era after losing 20-17 to the Eagles. Mike, what went wrong for the Chiefs?
And for a lot of years, we've been talking about the Chiefs and what they're losing, and they're not replenishing these areas. You know, oh, they won without Tyreek Hill. Okay, they won without Tyreek Hill. Don't think this is going to just keep happening, right? And now teams are catching up with them. And I'm telling you, I watched this game, and you know, you guys know I love Travis Kelce. And I saw him on the sideline at one point. It was frustrating. Everybody was frustrated because everybody's talking. I saw him, and I read his lips. He threw something. He said, I'm tired of this shit. I read his lips, and I said, I remember saying that when I really felt the dynasty slipping away. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel you're trying to hold it together. And everybody here don't have the same grip that you have on it because they hadn't been here the whole while. Some of these guys are just getting here. They don't understand the standard. And you're watching this, you're watching all your hard work go down the drain. Now, this is, before it's a talent thing. It's just a talent thing. They find more talent. Now, this is becoming a mental thing. When you lose your last three, and the Chiefs have lost their last three, and remember now, they came out of losing the Super Bowl the way they lost the Super Bowl, saying this ain't going to happen again. So you know, they went in all season saying, put our foot down, this ain't going to happen again, we're going to make it right. And then you start out 0-2. So, yeah, this is more mental than anything. You know, they get the Giants this week. And you know, the Giants, well, if the Giants get anywhere close to them, dog, listen, if the Giants beat them after the Cowboys beat the Giants, I will be just... Mace, you wouldn't even allow me to come on the show.
You almost lost to the Giants yesterday, man.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. What I'm saying. But if they lose to the Giants, we beat them. In the end, all it's going to say is win. That's what it's going to say in the end. That's what it says win. And that's what we got today. I know y'all ain't trying to tie. They're 0-3. 0-3 in the last three. That's what we are right now. We'll get to the Cowboys who 1-0 in the last one. But we'll get to the 0-3.
Well, I'm speaking to my agent right now. We're thinking about moving Titletown. We're in serious consideration. We're going to have to move it, you know. It's nothing personal to the Chiefs, you know. Sometimes, every now and then.
Makes you leaving your team?
Every now and then you got to move.
Nick, come in. Go ahead, keep going, brother.
Every now and then you got to move the team. You got to move it where it need to be. I'm just saying when it comes to the Chiefs, it's not just they're 0-2. They're losing to the people that beat them in the championship. So if there was ever a team to come back and play strong against, this would be the team.
It was a close game.
You know, it didn't matter it was a close game because the way we lost in the championship, you would have to come back and redeem that game. Forget even the first week, the second week. And I just think they're highly distracted when you think about a championship team. You know, you gotta score 30 points or higher. And you can't go scoreless 2 quarters, especially as Patrick Mahomes. You can't do it.
And Pat being your leading rusher, you know, Travis Kelce being your leading receiver, you haven't replenished the talent.
You let me down, man. It was the over and under if you was going to say Titletown's on the move here, bro. Boy, fuck the bet. I said,
what was the parlay?
That you would say Titletown's removed. First of all, the YouTube streets, they honor you. They said the Titletown is 2-0 every show. That you're gonna use the word Titletown. And Nick said, give me the one on the if he says it's on the move. So I'm just letting you know in the comments, it's all type of Titletown bets that you're gonna use it at least once or twice on the YouTube streets. And Nick took the bet with me. I said he ain't gonna do it, man. And I lost, man.
You should have told me.
Nah, I didn't want to cheat. I didn't want to cheat, man. I was trying to call your phone, but you wasn't picking up, man. I paid Nick on camera, so he ain't have to say I had to pay him later. My bad, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, Titletown got to be on the move. We can't be a team, organization that's biased. You know, the rules go for everybody. So just so people know, no matter where you are, is subjective. You know.
Okay, Cam.
Whatever. Yeah. See, I got to do it this 5 days a week, Mike. Chiefs ain't shit. The Chiefs ain't shit, man. Listen, man, me and Mike was talking before the show, and sometimes you break this chemistry up for whatever reason. You get your ring, and then you want the money. You get the money, you want the ring, or whatever. But I see the frustration that he was talking about with Travis Kelce. I seen that frustration on the sideline. It started at the end of last season, but yesterday's game with Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. Now, if Tyreek Hill was on this Chiefs team right now, I don't think they were talking about the problems they have. Right. You got to think about this. Travis Kelce is not a spring chicken. He's not going to be moving the same way he was 4 or 5 years ago. Not saying it's over for him, but he can't be a primary receiver. I know their primary receiver is hurt right now. Pacheco came back. He's not running the ball like they used to run the ball. They're not getting the ball down the field. And for Patrick Mahomes to end up with 187 yards, and then the intel as well, you know, who do you blame that on? Do you blame it on Kelce not catching the ball or not being ready? And then that kind of helps them lose the game. They're not getting the ball down the field. I'm talking about the Chiefs. And what we keep coming accustomed to saying, even Mike, myself, I don't even count what you have to say about the whole thing.
I think they'll find a way.
That's what we're saying. Andy Reid. If anybody could do it, Andy Reid could do it. No, you got to realize if anybody could do it, Andy Reid could do it. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 3 games. Andy Reid is not doing it. And I'm not saying that Andy Reid can't do it. You know better than I do, Mike. But when I just don't understand, and I get people going for their money. But when you have great chemistry, like Eric Bieniemy, if I say his name wrong, great offensive coordinator for the Chiefs when he was there. You want to go get a head coaching job in Washington. Then you want to go, I forget where he went after that. Now he's missing. Yeah. Where's he at?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got a great situation, Tyreek Hill. You got a great situation, Eric Bieniemy. Now I want to be a head coach. Now I want $282 million. Now, and then when the winning isn't there, you get frustrated, but you got your money. You got what you wanted. You want to be a head coach. You found out it's a little harder being a head coach than you wanted to be. Then you have to end up not being a head coach and take whatever job you could get. And now you've been like, damn, I could have just stayed with the Chiefs and we could have kept this thing going and won it. These are the choices you make. But I thought this game was really good defensively. Sometimes they don't have to always be a shootout. Even though you see Patrick Mahomes, you want him to go for 300-something yards. Jalen Hurts didn't have a lot of yards. He just broke 100 yards. But defensively, this game was a really good testament on both of their defensive, if you want to ask me. And it didn't have to be a shootout. But Philly prevailed. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to the champs, the real Titletown.
So I have a question for you guys on the other side because there are, the real Titletown. Yeah. I'm sorry. That was good.
I'm like Don King. Pause. I'm leaving with the winner. It doesn't matter to me, Killa. I'm leaving with the winner, champ.
That's a good one. Well, that's a good compliment right there. That's Don King.
I walk in with the winner and I leave out with the winner.
Noted.
Titletown, baby.
Noted. Okay, so on the Eagle side, I feel like, especially on social media, a lot of people are trying to kind of downplay Jalen Hurts, saying, he's playing so well because of his team. How do you feel about that? Do you actually feel like Jalen Hurts is really good, or do you feel like his team just plays the biggest part in that? Because people are going to go back and forth regardless.
Right. Well, listen, the team always plays a part. And as your quarterback, you better lift your team up. And A.J. Brown made some catches today. That one-hander, that wasn't anything that Jalen Hurts did. That was some things that he did, but that's part of football. That's part of football. So, I don't know. I like that he lifts his guys up, man, and put them up. People have an issue with it. Playing quarterback is not just about dropping back anymore and throwing for 300, 400, 500 yards. We've skirted that now. That's gone. The man has to play quarterback the way he plays it. And some of those throws that you see him throw, he's not going to have the arm of a Joe Burrow. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that arm. But Joe Burrow doesn't have the things that he has, his assets too, and they're great assets put in the concept of what they're doing. Those read options, if he puts that ball in that running back, you got to look at that mix and see if he's handing that ball off or see if he's taking out and running around. And when you wasting your time looking, he done pulled it out and he done threw. So, he doesn't have to thread a needle because you're watching the ball. And you see what I mean? It's great for his system. So we gotta move past wanting people to play the game like we want people to play the game and let people play the game that's best for their skill set, their team, and them winning. And he is certainly doing that.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is playing any different than Russell Wilson used to play when he was at Seattle. He was surrounded with a lot of weapons, and he was just getting the job done. I don't know why it's so different when it comes to Jalen Hurts, because he's doing the exact same thing. He's running the ball. He's passing it when it's necessary. He's just playing smart, and he's not getting in the way of his team. Sometimes you're loaded with so much talent that you get in the way of the success of the team, trying to prove you can play when really to be a champion on this team, we just need you to do X, Y, and Z. And he's playing his part to the T. So I hate when I hear quarterbacks that didn't win say, oh, he's just a game manager. No, he's a championship quarterback. And sometimes to win on a team, you got to take a lesser role. It doesn't mean that you're not capable. I'm quite sure there's people that we sat down with.
It's a different role.
Yeah.
A different role. It's a lesser role because it's not a lesser role. Yeah. It's just a different role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's not going to be Tom Brady. And trust me, if Tom Brady can run like him, he would.
Yeah.
He would run too. That's the part that always trips me out. You think Peyton Manning wishes he could run. But we want to see quarterbacks like that. And it's not real. And it's not today's game because them jokers on the end. Michael Parsons runs a 4.3. You think you can you can't get them old white guys just sitting back there anymore. They're going to get killed. They'll get killed now. The game has changed. Everybody has to be able to move. And so
that Titletown mentality is necessary to be on a championship team. You have to be able to pick your role, not even a lesser role like you said, but a different role. Because some people that don't take that role, they end up being the superstars but never get a ring. Right? Because they wasn't willing to do what was necessary. They had a confetti falling on them, but that's their choice.
Right, trying to throw the ball in the end zone so you can get the credit. That's what they kind of accused Aaron Rodgers of a couple of times. Or you could have dumped that ball off right there, or you could have handed it off, but you wanted to get the credit, and now you didn't get the championship. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think Mace hit the nail on the head. Is that you do what you got to do to make your team win.
Yeah.
I don't need 500 yards from you passing. I don't need you to do anything outside of what you're doing to help us win. Jalen Hurts won 2 Super Bowls. He lost one and won one, right?
Yeah.
How long he been in the league? 4 years? 5 years?
Right.
Half his career, he been in the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's doing what Mace, like I said, I can't even add on more to what Mace said. It's the same thing, like, for instance, right, and I'm just using a basketball terminology. Your Golden State Warriors, you get Kevin Durant, everybody's game is dumbing down. Yeah. That's just that. We have Kevin Durant now, and even Kevin Durant, he had to dumb his game down. And I don't mean it in a IQ form.
A different role.
I need it for everybody to be on pace for us. What do we have to do to win the championship? We may not need Kevin Durant to score 41 points. We don't need 50 points from Steph Curry. You get us 22. Draymond, you get us the 14 rebounds. I may only need 11 points tonight. But you knew who was going to win the championship because everybody played their part. And I think that you're 100% Mason, even though I don't really like agreeing with you much. But I just think that everybody plays their position on Philadelphia. Yep. You even look at Saquon Barkley, he hasn't had a breakout game this season, but he's doing what he needs necessary for them to win. 22 carries, 88 yards. This isn't how Saquon started last year. But who knows? He still got a breakout game. But fuck that. If they win, they win. And that's what matters.
For sure. Okay. The Cowboys had a 40-37 overtime win against the Giants. Mike, how did you feel about the Cowboys' performance?
It's so funny because I was happy with the victory. But man, that peak and valley I had to ride, those going up, and I said last week, this week
Mike
will tell me a great deal.
That you had to ride
up and down.
Peak and valley, crazy.
All right. Okay, listen, what I mean by all of that, I was happy with the victory. Funny, I left game one, but they lost to the Eagles. Like, man, I felt good about a loss. I kind of felt bad about this victory. Now, I don't know if it's. I do know why. First of all, you let Russell Wilson throw for 2,000 yards. And he threw all 2,000 right down the seams. It was like they had a wall where the defense couldn't go down the seam or stop him or something. I don't know what it was, and it blew my mind because Russell Wilson hadn't played like that since he was winning Super Bowls. So you're saying, and then I thought, okay, maybe it's just DeRon Bland's not playing, and but some of those plays were made on Trevon Diggs. And then you see what Michael Parsons not being there and the kind of time that Russell Wilson had to make all of those plays. But in the end, they did find a way to win that game. And it's Coach's first win. So I want to congratulate him, Coach Schottenheimer, on getting his first win. And it was a fight. So I got to take out, okay, you get the victory, and it was a fight. There's great things you can learn in that as we move forward and get ready for week 3. But yeah, you got to be happy with victory number 1 for Coach Schottenheimer. I don't care about y'all, all of this, whatever y'all about to say.
You was dissing Coach Schottenheimer when they hired him. You're like, who is this coach? Why we hiring him? Yeah, I'm just saying, last year when y'all hired him, you was dissing Coach Schottenheimer. I don't even know how to say the nigga name.
Coach Schottenheimer.
Yeah, you was dissing him and you was mad about the hire. Now you're congratulating him. You cool with the nigga?
No, I am. I've talked with him. I have met with him. I have chatted with him. And so we smoothed over some things. I like his approach. I really do like his approach. I like that he even called me in to come have those conversations. I really do. You know what I mean? Because it talks about wanting to bring people around and not make it so much where we're competing, but stacking on one another. So I do like that approach because he's pulling yesterday in and saying that this is the standard. we don't want this to hover over you guys, but we want this to be the
Mike,
standard. So I like how
the
his
Cowboys got a standard, Mike.
Yeah, they got a standard. I said it a long time ago.
What's the standard, Mike? Because I don't know the standard.
What do you mean, what's the standard? The standard is what Drew Pearson did, what I did. What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to get to the standard.
Mike, they ain't never been at that standard since y'all left there, Mike.
Yeah, you look like y'all about to go in that kind of a spell. So I don't know why you're on me right now. You better figure out your own thing. You're about to hit that same kind of spell right now. That's what you look like.
I know you ain't talking about
it. Exactly.
Mike,
we got a victory today. I'm going to take it. It wasn't like I wanted it. But I got to take them, boy. This NFL, you got to take those victories, man.
Yeah, I would say, starting off, we got to start with Russ. That Russ was balling,
Russ was cooking, man.
But I think if you get 450 yards and you lose, this is exactly what we're talking about. You got to know what's necessary for you to win. Sometimes it may not be for you to get 450. You might have to modify that and put that energy somewhere else so the team can win. Now, when you look at Dallas, I thought you was going to bring up CeeDee Lamb. Did you have a conversation with him?
CeeDee played. He played well, put over 112 yards.
You pull him to the side? You talk to him?
Well, listen, CD, when I saw what he did, you guys saw him talking about, man, I dreamed about those moments, man. Yeah, that hurts me more than anything. I really felt that. Could you imagine, dude, every day you lay head to pillow, that's the play you want to make. Mm-hmm. You're going to make that on opening night in front of the world. Yeah, so I knew his pain was great, and he showed up. The big thing today was to make sure you got George Pickens involved. Mm-hmm. And George Pickens put up like 69 yards, 69 yards, and then he got that touchdown in the end, so he'll feel like, man, I'm here. I'm a part of this team. I thought that was big going forward.
Yeah, and another one was Ferguson. He played pretty decent, and I don't know how to look at Dak Prescott because he's always right there, like always playing almost good enough, but not quite elite, What would you say to that?
You're right in this sense. When you think about this game, and even all the games we watched today, these games always come down to this little play, these little few plays in the fourth quarter. And the great ones tend to make those plays. And you can have great numbers, great stats, great games won. But until you make those plays, you can't get in that greatest conversation. Because those are the plays that get you in the Super Bowl. And Dak hasn't made those plays. I agree with you that he hasn't made those plays. And as a matter of fact, it has gone the other way. Remember the 49ers, we didn't get the ball snapped in that crucial moment. You even had one the fourth down, yesterday, when they snapped the ball late, when they went for it on fourth down and then they got the delay of game. You got to be able to make the plays late to be called the greatest. And yeah, that's been absent from his set.
Okay, Cam.
I disagree with both of y'all. First of all, every yard that Russell Wilson threw was needed. Every yard of that 450 yards was needed. That shit was a shootout. So I agree with you last segment.
6 lead changes.
Yeah, fair. In the fourth quarter. I agree with you last segment when you said some people got to manage the game and you don't necessarily need that. Them 450 yards was needed because the Cowboys was coming down scoring. They would go down score. He would go back and score. Shout out to Malik Neighbors. That nigga came up and did his fucking thing. Definitely did his thing. And I want to give Russell Wilson a shout out because you can start with me. We was playing with your name, boss. If you wanted to tell me shut the fuck up, you could DM me. But I'm going to take full accountability that I was the first one last week playing with Russell Wilson's name, talking about, I don't know if he had a good game since Sierra. He been with her. Has he won the Super Bowl since he been with her? Niggas now, don't get me wrong, Giants fan, Nick and all y'all niggas, I don't know, Jackson Dart might need to play all week. Niggas saying that Russell Wilson was 3 seconds from losing his job. I think this game solidified him for at least 3-4 weeks after what he performed yesterday. Now, listen, man, you can sit here and say that the Giants lost the game. And they did. But it was not Russell Wilson's fault. Now, overtime is Russell Wilson's fault. He threw an ill-advised interception.
He's talked that up.
But what the fuck is the Giants secondary is the worst secondary in all of football at any level. Junior high school, elementary, high school, college, arena football. Is no secondary worse in any football than the Giants, my nigga. I posted that shit on Twitter, well, not Twitter, on my Instagram, that the Giants defense just do not like Russell Wilson. They can't like the nigga. The nigga goes down, you go down and get a fucking touchdown. And I remember the time, like a minute 20 left. Was it?
Yeah.
A minute 20, something like that? I'm talking about after Russell Wilson threw the bomb to Malik Neighbors and they go up with by 3 points. How much time was left on the clock? A minute and some change? Stat, tell me, because it wasn't more than 2 minutes. It might not have been a minute.
No, it was under.
Yeah, it was under.
It might have been under a minute. How are you going to let Dak Prescott go down and get you a field goal right now? Don't get it fucked up. It was 64-yard field goal.
Right.
It's crazy. It was crazy.
What, 40? It was 49 to win the game, right?
No, that's I'm talking about before
overtime. You're talking about overtime. Before,
it was 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
You're right. It's 64. Right. That was 64.
So you let them get down the field to get to. Now I'm not acting like everybody makes 64-yard field goals, but the fact that y'all can't even stop them to even get in field goal range. Make it, if you nice nigga, make a 78-yard field goal. We're not gonna get you in range.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. So I want to give Russell Wilson a shout out. I know in overtime you threw that interception, which made them go back and win, which was ill-advised, but you've been slinging the ball, the football really good the whole day, so I'm not going to discredit. I said pause, Murda. So I don't want to discredit him. I think he had a fabulous game, even though a lot of people are mad at him about the interception. Now I want to go back to Dak Prescott because y'all are both correct on he's missing them big moments in them games, and that's what's eluding him. But the first 2 weeks of this season, Dak's been looking fucking good. And I can't count.
He's Tony Romo.
I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm saying I'm just going off the season. I agree with you in the past of what he's going off with. But how many? I would love to know how many drop passes it's been. It's been several drop passes. I wouldn't almost say it's been double digits in drop passes in 2 weeks. He putting the ball in niggas' hands, pause, and then niggas is dropping it. What do you want him to do? And I'm not the biggest Dak Prescott fan in the world. I'm not going to say and act like I'm a fan of his like I am Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. But the fact that he's balling this good the first 2 weeks, I was very impressed last week. I was very impressed yesterday. I was like, yo, I can't really hate on him as much as I want because I don't got no problem spewing Cowboy hate. You know what I'm saying? But he looked really good, and niggas is dropping passes. CD, like you said, CD Lamb sitting there talking about this the shit I dream about. Oh, wake the fuck up. Catch the ball, nigga.
Get on, man. Man, he had 112 out there today,
Listen,
man.
He ain't have more than Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors had 167.
Yeah, he about to be
then
number
when Del
2.
Robinson had 142 yards. The Giants look good. That defense looked suspect. And I was waiting to come in here today because like I was telling niggas Murda, you lost, and I was going to do the gritty across this shit on because our quarterback got hurt, and we still won.
Right.
But Mike saved the day for the panel up here that everybody's team didn't lose.
Get us in there.
Well, y'all, that is all the time that we have for today. Mike, it was a pleasure
Mike, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you.
Wait, let me just say this before I go too now. The Cowboys got better because we did sign Jadeveon Clowney yesterday. I want y'all to know that. I got to throw that on in there. I know I was kind of humming, but on the because if he give us anything that Michael Parsons took out the door, I'm telling you. What the Cowboys needed was to get some more pressure on the quarterback, and I don't know what he's been doing. But he can help us get there, so we just had to put that.
Hey, yo, listen, first of all, no disrespect. Clowney was good. 102 years ago. He was a free agent. That's how you got the nigga. Nobody signed him. Y'all like, yo, what Clowney doing? Where that nigga at?
You gonna get 7 or 8. He can go get 7 or 8 sacks. Clowney he uses what he does. He just want to dip in, get him something, and get out. Like he doesn't want to go through the whole process. Every team, he'll come in, he'll sign. Because sacks is so valuable. They'll give him 8, 9, 10 million a year, and he'll give him 8 or 9 sacks. But he wants to come in after week 1. He doesn't want to go through training camp. I knew something was when one time I heard him say, yeah, my mom and my lady told me to get up and go work out. I said, ooh.
Yo, Murda.
They gonna tell you to get up and go work out. You got some self-motivation.
I was a Clowney fan years ago. I remember him.
He's a freak of talent now.
Listen, I remember him in college. They made him sit down. They said, nah, you're going to get hurt. You're going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL. Listen, you don't even need to play. But if Murda, I'm asking you, man. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't signed at the beginning of the season, Mike, I'm not going to argue with Mike because Mike know better than me talking about he don't want to go through training camp.
I'm telling you, that's what they do. That's what he does.
I'm not saying
he done stack some money now.
Well, I'm saying is this, Murda. It sound like niggas say, yo, find a nigga.
Nigga was at the White House.
Yeah,
Mike. Mike was at the White House.
I hope he comes in there and play like them jokers that hung out at the White House. I hope he does do that. I hope he does do that. That'd be good.
Talk your shit. Well, again, Mike, it was a pleasure to have you. You can talk your shit because you won, so I know you're real happy, and I love that for you. And we're so glad that you were able to come in studio. Hopefully more. This will happen.
We're gonna do this.
Back more, man.
Yes.
We will. I just got Miller spot out here. I ain't need to tell everybody that, but I guess I just did.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. We'll be around. Me and my sister. You know, we'll be around. Me and my sister will be working. You know. Yeah.
Thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.